This video is brought to you by patreon.com/worsttake. Get access to exclusive live streams and Discord servers, on-screen shoutouts, and early access to some videos when you join now. Help make sure that we can continue to make content like this by supporting the Patreon. Links are in the description down below. Okay, so it's obvious that Browns fans in general need a little bit of a pick-me-up after a disappointing Week 4 loss. And honestly, I think it's less about what happened in the game in the Week 4 loss to Baltimore and a lot more about what happened around the game, right? All the questions about Deshaun Watson and why he did or did not play, or why the team thought he would or would not play, and how ill-prepared they were for a scenario in which Deshaun Watson would not play in a week where he didn't really fully practice at all. So those kind of things have made us concerned about it. I think there's a world where Browns play a little bit more of a competitive game, and we have significantly less concerns because it was like, hey, maybe we knew Deshaun was going to be out for like 2 weeks or something like that, and that he's going to be coming back, and that, you know, there's no lingering questions about that after the bye week, and that maybe DTR or PJ Walker looks a little bit more prepared, right? Maybe if that happens, even with the loss, you feel better. And this is a game that I think, hey, the result will matter to a point. There are ways the Browns can lose this game and Browns fans will feel much better. There are ways the Browns can win this game and Browns fans still won't feel great. Now, it's hard to say that if you beat one of the few undefeated teams left in the NFL, but there is some truth to that. There have been a lot of games that the Cleveland Browns have won in the last 5 years alone of me just doing this channel that I have experienced Browns fans not be excited about the result, even when the result meant great things, even when the result meant getting real close to clinching playoff position, even when the result was really desired. Like, it takes a lot for a win to feel good. And I've also seen losses where we feel pretty good about it afterwards. I know people don't like to say there's anything as moral victories as a universal stance, but that's just not true. There are moral victories in sports. There are losses that feels like wins. There are wins that feel like losses. It's about what happens. For a perfect example, if Nick Chubb tears his knee in that Pittsburgh game, still, and the Browns hang on to win it, we're not celebrating it like we just did this great thing. It's going to feel like a loss because we lost Nick Chubb. That point all wrapped up into the bow means, to me at least, the context is king. A win and loss, that's cool, but context matters. How this win happens, it does matter. How a loss happens, it does matter. So what I want to talk about today is the things that we just want to see in this game versus the San Francisco 49ers to feel comfortable about the rest of the season. Because I think a lot of us could agree a loss against the 49ers would not be the worst thing in the world or would send the worst message in the world just on the face of it. The 49ers are playing their best football right now. They're undefeated. The Cleveland Browns are, trying to figure it out. And if they meet again in the Super Bowl, I don't think that anybody thinks that this version of the Browns team will be the same that would be playing if they're lucky enough and fortunate enough and play well enough to get to February. So we all know what the context coming into the game is. The 49ers are heavily favored, even though they're on the road. They are, to most people's eyes, the better football team. The Cleveland Browns aren't. But what do you want to see from the Cleveland Browns this week to feel a lot better about the rest of the season? The first thing is you want to see Deshaun Watson out there, or you want to see something definitive on this whole Deshaun Watson thing. I think the issue with this whole Watson injury has been the can he not, right? The will he, won't he, that it's been for the last 3 weeks or 2 weeks or however it's been since they played the Tennessee Titans. It's been this game of will he play, won't he play? Oh, he should play. Okay, where we hear reports that he's fine. Okay, well, actually he can't throw. And then, oh, well, it was his decision to not play, but he can't throw. And then you get the bye week and you hear he's throwing a little bit better, but then you hear he might not play. And it's just exhausting. It's exhausting for me to cover. It's exhausting for you guys to continue to get jerked back and forth on. It's exhausting. So if he can't play, okay, whatever. He missed 2 games. Just let's get something definitive on. Let's know what this injury is. Apparently it's a shoulder contusion. And that's doing something with the rotator cuff. Let's just get a definitive timeline. Hey, he should be out 1 more week. Okay, cool. I feel better, right? Because now it's not this mystery. I don't have to think about Markelle Fultz or any kind of crazy thing. I can just let it lie, right? Just let it lie. That's what it is. We got another week where we ain't going to have this dude. It is what it is. Or he could play and he's fine and everything's good. But either way, I want the lingering of this thing to be over with. I want to know when it's going to be done with. I don't want this thing to be looming over our heads for the rest of the season because nobody's going to feel good if that's the case. I mean, look how Cincinnati fans feel about this Joe Burrow calf. They pray every week that this is the week that we done talking about the calf. I don't want to do that with the shoulder. I've done that for a season before. It's not fun. I want that shoulder to be something that's not talked about. And the second he gets out there, he plays games, I don't care about the shoulder anymore. It's not going to be an excuse for bad play. It's not going to be an excuse for lackluster football. Like the fact that he missed 3 weeks, I don't care. I'm gonna make that very clear on my evaluation of him. If he's out there to play, I don't care. I really don't care. The shoulder, whatever, like if he's making bad decisions, the shoulder ain't making bad decisions for him. Did the same thing with Baker Mayfield in 2021. Will not switch it up just because the guy's different. The process is the process. But all in all, you just want something definitive out of Deshaun, right? Are you going to play? Are you not going to play? And if you ain't going to play, let us know before game day, brother. Like, just let us know. You know what I mean? Make that determination on Friday if he's out, right? No reason for this to be a game time decision. Let's wait till Friday. Like Friday, hey, he can't throw still. He's out. He's out, right? I think that's fair. If he can't practice and play by Friday, just keep him out. But if he does play and he plays well versus the San Francisco 49ers, win or loss, we will feel much better. Okay? We have been begging to see 2 good Deshaun Watson games back to back. I don't care this week if it's in a win. Like if he lost against Indy, okay, I'm tripping on that. I don't care if the game was good. Why did we lose to the Colts with a good quarterback? But if he loses to the 49ers and plays well, okay, we can live with that. I think we would be fine with that. Honestly, I think there will be a lot of people who will be more excited about losing that game in that fashion than they would about winning it in others. Now, think about it like this when I say it, because it sounds crazy when I say that, but think about this. If the Browns won this game 13-7, right? But Deshaun Watson threw 4 interceptions. You're not going to walk away from that game feeling great. I don't care what, you're not going to walk away. There will be the people in the audience like, hey man, a win's a win. You know, we won. We're 3-2. 3-2 is all that matters. You know what I mean? And they will have some point in that, but the bulk of us ain't going to walk away from that feeling great because the underlying questions that we have about this team are still there. Because if he throws 4 interceptions, the inevitable question is going to be, was it the shoulder? Oh my God. Are we going to be talking about a shoulder for the rest of the year? It's not going to be about a defense that did an incredible job. It's going to be about the 4 interceptions. Win, lose, or draw. But if he goes out there, those 4 touchdowns, and the 49ers just get the best of you because they're also a really good football team, hey man, we can live with that. Honestly, some people who are less results based might prefer that, right? Just to feel better. But that would make you feel better. Another thing that would make you feel better is some kind of life from the run game. Now, it can look however it looks, inside zone, wide zone, whatever works, right? But you just want to see some life. You want to see them be able to get 4 or 5 easy yards on the run plays, and you don't want it to seem fluky, right? The only few run plays that we've had this year have seemed really fluky, right? There's the Jerome Ford cutback run. There's another run that Jerome Ford where he got hit, but didn't fall, and then got another cutback. Like, it seemed fluky. You want these runs to seem replicatable. I think inside zone is a great way to do that. I think, but however you get there, you get these replicatable runs, you'll feel much better if you can get that. If this run game can be at a nice, efficient 80 to 120 yards, you'll feel good about that. Now, that can't be the only thing that goes right. Like, if Deshaun throws 4 touchdowns in a loss, I think that could be the only thing that goes right in that game, and we'll be fine. As far as morale-wise, even in a loss. If we lose and, like, Jerome Ford has 120 yards, I don't think anybody's going to care that much. But it will be something, if you add it to something else, that people will feel good about. Elijah Moore having a nice receiving day. Look, he's been having to get to like 50 yards by getting like 30 receptions. I would like it if he could have a nice 6 reception, 100-yard day. Now, that's asking a lot, but I know. But I feel like he's due. You know, a nice day from Elijah Moore, couple that with a nice day from Deshaun Watson, you feel so much better about this team and this team's future. If Deshaun can get out of here with a nice day, a nice game to Elijah Moore, maybe even find David Njoku a little bit, and like only get sacked 2 times, hey, that's a way you can lose this game that you'll feel fine with. Like, hey, okay, ball didn't bounce our way. Defense maybe didn't play up to expectation, but we know the defense is going to be better. We can live with these results. I'm not saying that to automatically punt on the game. I think the Browns have a better chance than a lot of people are assuming that they have. Because, again, we forget that this is the NFL. It's a week-to-week league. And the thought that the 49ers are going to play the exact same way that they played against the Cowboys or that they played against whatever team you saw them beat down every week is just not true. Teams have hot weeks. Teams have cold weeks. Teams have weeks where everything is clicking. Teams have weeks where nothing's clicking, even the good ones. And the thought that they're going to come from this national TV game, beating out the Cowboys, to playing this Browns team that they're probably sleeping on and play them the exact same way on the road against a really good defense that they played the Cowboys. I think there's room here for a little bit of an upset factor. So I'm not punting this game away. Let me make that clear. I don't think that this game's a punt away game. Like, oh, we just can't do nothing about them. But there are ways in which when you go against a good team, this is a better way to state it, so I'm sorry for restating. But when you go against a good team, you have to account for, hey, you can lose this game because it's the NFL and good teams lose all the time. It's not college football where good teams lose 2 times a year or 1 time a year. Good teams lose all the time in the NFL. All the time. It's very common that a good team loses. And when that happens, you need to know what to look at if you lose to know where the season's going. If you lose and things look like a certain way, you're going to be nervous. If you lose, but things look like they're trending up in some key areas, you're going to feel much better about it. I think that's a natural way to process a victory or a loss, right? And it goes the other way around. If the Browns win this game because Brock Purdy plays the worst game of his life and that's it, we just stink on offense, we grind it through, and Deshaun Watson is there, oh, that's a concern. Like, I'll take the win, but that's a concern. It's a major concern. There are multiple ways that this game can fold out, and I just want to talk about what we want to see from this game to feel better. Because win, lose, or draw, we don't know what that result's going to be, but we do know what we want to see. And if we don't see the things that we want to see, if we watch this game and it's another stagnated offense game where we're sending Elijah Moore on 400 end rounds and we're getting like 2 yards of carry from the run game and we can't get nothing pushing downfield and Deshaun takes 1 million sacks and he looks lost and he leaves the pocket super early and Jed Wills looks like a disaster, even if you win that game, you don't feel great. But if you lose a game in which the opposite of everything that you want to happen, well, everything that has happened on offense, in the Pittsburgh game specifically, like if you just have a good game on offense and you look like you can efficiently move this ball down the field and all that, you feel much better about your chances to make a run after this game. That's my thoughts. You know, I've been trying to get in a more hopeful place. I think that as a fan base, or at least the section of the fan base that I have to interact, I interact with, I choose to interact with, is kind of down on the team. And I feel like it's getting to the point to where it's a little bit overly down to where the team is. And I think it's time for a little bit of a check of what we actually were expecting to see at this point, right? Is this team living up to expectations right now? No. They're a little bit under expectations. But are they so under expectations that the season should feel like it's over? Absolutely not. Now, again, we got to see what's going on with Deshaun and the shoulder. Hopefully we'll have a clear idea by Friday. I really just don't love doing this whole back and forth thing, and I've been trying to stay away from that with this whole Deshaun shoulder thing. So let me know what you think in the comment section below. If Deshaun plays, what do you want to see from this Cleveland Browns offense? Because the defense is not what we're worried about. If Deshaun plays, what do you want to see from the offense? If he doesn't play, what do you want to see from the offense? What can you get from this game, win, lose, or draw, as a Browns fan or somebody who's interested in the Browns' success, that would make you feel better about this team's ability to win future games? Not just the win, because a win can feel terrible. Okay, a win can feel terrible. You can win this game, but like 3 players get hurt and you're not going to feel good about the rest of the season. What can happen in this game? What can you see in this game, if you see it, that will make you feel better about this team's ability to win football games in the future? Please, I would love to see the answers to that down in the comment section below. I'm genuinely curious. You guys have a great day. Have an even better night. You know I'm going to drop more videos today.